at. They're going to be there somewhere. One day I'm going to go back and I'm going to be able to watch all these Zooms I can't find. So it's going to be really good. But I want to introduce you to a very, very, very special friend of mine. She is from Iowa, and her name is Jenny Wagner. And we met, I don't even know when the first time we'd met. We've known of each other for a while probably, but I met her in Puerto Vallarta, and we have actually started talking and become good friends and accountability partners. And I think she is fantastic. And you guys, her story is amazing. When you hear it, your jaws are going to drop when you hear what she did. So I want to introduce Jenny to you guys, and she's an executive with the company. And would you tell what I want you to just kind of give a brief overview of your weight loss story too, because I don't think I've ever heard that. And then what you shared with me is just like, what? And I definitely want you to go into your business story and how that all evolved.
Well, thank you for that sweet introduction, and you guys have an amazing leader as well. Can you guys all hear me okay? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So, it's funny, Melissa, because I actually do remember your speech in, was it Zing Fest or Zing Fling? I don't remember, but you didn't probably have a clue who I was at that point in time. So I remember congratulating you after your speech, and of course it hit home with me. But yeah, we connected in Puerto Vallarta, and it's funny because we've been kind of down the same path. But so as far as kind of my weight loss story, I started, it'll be, gosh, will it be 2 years in April? That's crazy. Yeah. So almost 2 years ago. That's insane. Time goes fast. So I'm a former personal trainer. So I do have kind of I was all into wellness and health and everything. And then 6 years ago, switched careers, still work in healthcare. And yes, I still work full time. I have managed to drop down a day. Melissa thinks I'm crazy, and I think I probably am too. But so I don't work as much as I used to because of this company. But I had 3 kids, struggled with my weight after that. I actually have a thyroid disorder and also PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So major metabolic issues, major. And so when I switched to a desk job, I was just less active. And then I started, getting some of these health issues. And my doctor actually, I went to my obstetrician and I said something's not right, and he diagnosed me with metabolic syndrome. So I had tried everything from a weight loss, or not a weight loss. Yeah, it was like a diet pill. So I took that for maybe a month or two. And you want to talk about high anxiety. Oh my gosh, I was climbing the walls. And I walked down the hall and told my nurse practitioner I was never taking that sucker again. I didn't care if I wasn't losing weight on it, by the way. Came back and he sort of shamed me for it. And I was like, nope, not doing it. And so then I tried hormone therapy for a year. And I actually I would drive an hour and a half to have pellets injected into my hip to try to get my hormones evened out. And I gained 30 pounds in a year, 30 pounds doing it. And that is when I showed up at a Singular event, did not even know what the company was named, nothing. I honestly didn't know anything about it, didn't even know my sponsor. I showed up and I thought, okay. And actually, that's where I met Kala and then Jana, who was in my upline. Jana Dyer, everyone knows who Kala is, but they were there. And I just remember being like, yeah, this is not going to work for me. And then they talked about the business and I was like, there's no way these people are making this amount of money. I totally had no interest in the business. But I started my journey, and maybe 4 to 6 months into it, I think I lost the majority of my weight. 50 pounds, and I've kept it off for 2 years now. And so, how I got started in the business is people started asking me what I was doing. You know, my coach tried to get me to share, and I wouldn't share until I lost 20 pounds, which was the stupidest thing in the world. But, you know, I shared my story at 3 months. It took me 3 months to share, which I still regret to this day. I would have started earlier, but I was just too stubborn, and I'd never done anything like this before. Wasn't looking for a job opportunity. So keep that in mind. I was not looking for the business. Shared my story, and honestly, the rest is history. I did hit manager my first month in that fast four. So, and you guys really are at an advantage right now because of that $100 promo. So that's pretty awesome. And then, you know, like I'm telling my new people, $100 plus your manager bonus. So you get an additional, what, 50, it's around 50 for just hitting manager. So there's $150. And so, you know, that first month, I think I made $700. And I was like, wow, you know, this is really kind of cool. Kept going. And I was telling Melissa this today. I'm going to tell you the single thing that changed me was when I went to Salt Lake City it was Zing Fest. So it would have been 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, was when I attended my first event. Changed me. So I went to that event as a silver manager. So that would have been in the fall, and I had started late summer. So I had maybe been in it for maybe 2 or 3 months. I had hit silver manager the the month before I went. And I'll be honest, when I first started, I did not really take it that serious. I liked the extra money coming in, and I really enjoyed helping people, but I didn't really see that like big vision until I went to that event. And I mean, I can even tell you some of those people on the stage that day because your first event, you're just so blown away by everything. I just remember walking in, and there's music playing, and people are hugging each other, and everyone's taking pictures. And I mean, I don't know, however, you know, if you guys go to conferences with your jobs, but I'm like used to going to these conferences in healthcare where you can barely keep your eyes open. I mean, so I was just like blown away by it, you know, and I thought, oh my gosh, I feel at home. And, you know, you hear these stories of these people, and some of these people that were on that stage are great friends of mine now. And at the time I was like, oh my gosh, you're a celebrity. But you know what? We're all just normal people. We're all just normal people that most of us started because we needed help somewhere, whether it's weight loss, or most of us weight loss. And we somehow turn it into a business of helping others. And so I went to that event. And Melissa, if you want to interrupt me at any point in time, you go for it. I'm just kind of chatting. So I went to that event.
Great. You're doing great. Just keep going.
Okay. Went to that event, and I came home a different person. I don't think it's possible when you go to that very first event, you will walk away a different person. Somehow you will see something different. There's something that's going to touch you and make you a little bit hungry or better yourself in some way. So I came home and I changed my business. I decided I was going to start taking it more serious because, and I told Melissa this today, I thought there's no reason why I can't be on that stage at some point in time. There's no reason. And so came home. I worked my tail off. I was coachable. So, you know, working with my uplines and cross lines, I use my cross lines, honestly, Melissa and I have no financial ties to each other. It doesn't matter in this company. And so, came back, worked my tail off, listened to the advice, helped some other people, get started. And I just kept sharing. And like I told Melissa today, came back, would have been a year ago this April, and I hit executive last March. So a year ago this month. So 6 months, I went from a silver manager to an executive, which I realized that's really kind of not, that doesn't happen a lot. I grew very fast. That's good and it's bad too, but it just goes to show that you can do it, you know. So you're going, I mean, that's going from $1,700 a month to about 12 to 14 a month. I mean, 1,000. And you know, you guys, I was not looking for a business opportunity, but when it really became completely life-changing to me was when my full-time salary, when Zingular's salary started to match my full-time salary, at least for a month. And to me, that was around the silver director, because you're bringing in a good $4,000+ a month when you're hitting just director. That's a really good salary. And so that's when it started really being real to me. You know, and it's just, I just kept working, and you know, here I am still, and you're going to have your ups and downs, but doing those daily consistent things. And I was not consistent at the very start. I'd go days without doing anything. And I wasn't really, if someone reached out to me, I wasn't really reaching out back fast. And now, boy, I don't ever miss a day of my daily activities, not even on a Sunday. You know, I do a lot of training with, and Melissa, I need to talk to you about this, because I have joined Rank Makers with Ray Higdon. And are you in that one? Okay, well, I have really learned a lot from him, but you can have slow days, but you really shouldn't have no days. So like, you may have a really busy week. It's okay to not be as productive, but you don't want to have non-productive days, because that really will start to catch up with you. I mean, I had a teammate tell me yesterday, or just the other day, she said, I've just decided that I know that when I'm really working at this, I make really good money. And the reason why I wasn't making really good money a few months ago is because I really wasn't working at it. And I said, you're right. You know, and making sure you're doing the right things to bring that in. And that takes a while to figure that out. But I mean, you got a great leader with Melissa. So just, you know, focusing on those income producing activities and really getting out of your comfort zone. I mean, right now I'm doing a 14-day challenge with Ray Higdon, and we're doing 14 days where we have to go live. I don't know if that terrifies any of you, but first time I ever went live, I was terrified and mumbling and, I mean, ridiculous. And now it's like, whatever. But it's pushing me out of my comfort zone, even, because he's given us tips and things like that. So, you know, one thing I've learned too lately, you know, you do kind of have to invest in yourself. You know, you invest, you learn, and you implement, and then you teach, because you got to start bringing other people with you too. And that's, you know, you're not only looking for product users, but you're looking for business partners. So, you know, keeping that in mind as you're out there looking and sharing that business opportunity, which is, by the way, the one thing that I failed at when I first started, because I didn't think I had a business story. Well, how am I ever going to bring people on my team if I don't share that? Because if you're even making $10 a month, you have a business story. You have a story. A manager is a big deal. I mean, if you hit manager, your chances of staying in this are so much higher. So you got a great promo right now, you know, with that $100. And if you go to this event in 3 weeks, you get to walk across that stage. And that's a really big deal. That's a really big deal, because your percentages, honestly, like even the percentages of people that go to director are really fairly low. So, but you get there by not quitting and just, you know, tuning in and just being relentless at it. Be relentless at it. You're going to have good days, bad days, good months, bad months. You just keep going. And you find people to do it with you. And you get to go on really cool trips that you never thought you'd go on. This last one was my first Founders Club trip. And I told Melissa today, I have won several trips. I'm supposed to be on the cruise right now, but I deferred it to next year. The Founders Club in Puerto Vallarta was by far my favorite trip so far. You get to I got to talk with her and meet other people that I hadn't really met and talked to in person, because the big events, there's a lot of people there, but just so much fun. So anything else you want me to touch on, Melissa?
Well, there's a lot. I got a lot in my head, y'all. I'm going to tell you, like, when you said that your first event changed you, that's what changed me. And I was like you, I never talked about the business because I didn't want people to think I was just signing them up to get their money. That was my fear. I didn't want people to think, because I really wanted to help people. I mean, these products were changing my life. I was losing weight. I was feeling good. I mean, everything started falling into place. So I wanted them to know that I wanted to help them. I didn't want them to think that I was just doing it to take their money. Well, golly, I mean, do you know how many people left because they couldn't afford the products? And they could have stayed on had I shared that opportunity and giving them the opportunity, if nothing else, just to pay for their products. So when I went to my first event, that was when Robin Packard got her $100,000 check on stage. It was in Las Vegas in October of 2015. I remember everything about it because I was the same as you. I was expecting something boring, informal, and it was everything but. And it was just like, I remember seeing Cynthia Evans with all of these people around her, and I was like, oh my God, who is that? I mean, that's got to be somebody really big. I remember her big old hair, I remember those details, and now she's one of my best friends, and it's just like, you realize it's just people just like you and I. But
exactly.
When you come back, you're just like, oh my God, if they can do that, I can do this. And that's when I came home from that event and wrote my executive speech that weekend. And I think Monica, I sent it to Monica. I wish I could still find it because it's probably hilarious. But I mean,
yours was great. I still remember it.
Well, that's not the one that I wrote.
Oh.
That's not the one I wrote in 2015. It took me a minute to get there, but you learn as you go, but you realize that you have a gift, not only in the products, but you have a gift with this opportunity. $500 a month is what an average income of what a manager makes. That was life-changing to me. That paid my car payment plus, that was when I was making, I was paying for my products plus an extra $500 a month. That was insane. I was like, this is for real? Or this is real. I can really spend this money on whatever I want to spend it on. I didn't have to turn around and spend it on more products. I mean, it was just like they were giving me a gift. And when I came back and I realized that I was robbing people of a blessing by not sharing the business opportunity and giving them an opportunity to have a resource to stay on these products forever without coming out of their pocket, that's when things changed for me. And that's when, that's why we have these Zoom meetings, because I want, and that's why everybody's invited. I don't care if you're a distributor or not, because everybody has the same opportunity and it's not hard. People come looking for you. It is just like right now, people are looking for something. They are going to buy something, whether it's Plexus, whether it's Isogenics, whether it's a phentermine from a diet doctor, whether it's HCG shots, whether they are going in for a consult for gastric bypass surgery. They're going to spend their money on something because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and we've got the thing to help them. So why in the world would I rob somebody of a blessing, one, for themselves, two, so that they can pay for their products, and three, to show them how to help their friends and family. And so that's when it was just like, it was a game on at that point. And just like you said too, I mean, it is not a straight rocket ship to the top. This is not a get rich quick scheme. That's just the sky's gonna open up and the money's just gonna start raining in. You have to work. But oh gosh, y'all, the reward is your return on investment for the time and effort that you put into this. You can't put a price tag on it. I mean, it is just like when you get text messages every single day, and I think I'm frozen. Can somebody see me? Okay, I think I'm back.
I can see you.
Okay, you get text messages every day from people thanking you. And then you get text messages from, somebody saying, oh my God, I just paid my house payment with my income from this, a house payment, and you just, it's so rewarding to you. And then when you get to take, when I get to take my husband on these trips with me all over the world, and then to travel where we've never traveled before, but plus, I mean, it's like she said, when you go to any of these events, it is like a family reunion. You walk in and within 5 minutes, I'm hugging somebody, or somebody's running to you and saying, oh my God, I love you. I can't believe you're here. We're here and we get to see each other. And it's just, it is like she said, the one word that you can use to describe it is home. It's just like you come home, and it's like nothing I've ever experienced before. And I love the entire, all of it, everything about it. Ever since I have done this, I've never once felt like it was work, even though I do work my tail off. I work a lot, but I love it. I don't feel like I'm working. And that's one thing that Rudy Revac said to me: if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So tell me, Jenny, tell me some, you were talking about income producing activities. That's what you've got to do every single day to get to the ranks and, to move up in the company. What are 3 income producing activities that you have your team do every single day?
So, obviously you're going to have to add friends on Facebook. And when I started, I think I had a little over 1,000. But I add at least 10 to 20 a day. You can get up to 5,000. So that's a must. And I remember being horrified to add people that I didn't know, but now I don't even really care. I just add, whatever, so that is for sure one. Another income producing activity would be to post regularly, post and or go live every day. Most people wouldn't go live every day, but posting regularly and doing a public post. And, you got to be active there, or else 1 in 7 people will see your posts. That's not very many. So you got to be posting regularly. And then, besides customer follow-ups and everything, just reaching out to people. And I was not good at that when I started because, back then the Facebook settings were also different. I had a lot of people right at first, you're going to have a lot of people reaching out to you, but you're going to eventually go kind of out of your hot market, and so reaching out to people, maybe make it a goal of 5 people a day is a great start. And again, you're basically going to see if they're open to learning more about your product or opportunity, and don't leave out the opportunity. And by that, I mean, like Melissa said, the business, because we just had a girl interested on our team today. I guess she's a radio announcer. Well, she doesn't really need to lose weight. She just wants to promote the products. And so my distributor calls me, what do I do? I said, she's looking for a business, and she's smart. If she wants to grow a business, network marketing is the place to be right now. It is the place to be. And especially this field, diabetics are all over the place. Everyone's overweight. People are looking for a solution. And Melissa, I agree. I think, when you first start, you don't know what you don't know. So $500, $1,000, is life changing to a lot of people. And that's great. That is amazing. Most people at first, you're going to see a different vision when you first start. You know, as you keep going, that's going to change. So when you first start, you might think, I just really want to get my products paid for. Great. And then for me, it was, okay, now I'd like to kind of match my full-time, match my full-time income. Did that. And then I'm like, okay, now I want to reduce my hours at my full-time job. Did that. My next step will be to quit. Because guess what? I mean, there's no really, once you get going, and you have to have like this big why. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic, but if you have that why, if you don't know why you're doing this, figure that out first. But once you figure out why you're doing it, it's going to change as you move along in your journey. And I would have never thought that when I first started. I had no intentions of ever wanting to quit my job. But guess what? I want to quit my job. And I could right now, I could walk away and be completely fine. I'm just waiting for the right time yet and to do that. But the income producing activities are the most important part of this, and being so consistent. So yeah, so to wrap that up, because I just really got off topic, posting, adding friends, and just reaching out to people and asking them if they're, and I use the term, and I learned this from Ray Higdon as well. Hey, I know you don't know me, but would you be interested in whatever? And I usually ask them, and I don't know how you've taught your team, Melissa, but I asked them if they'd be interested in me adding them into our results page. And that's how I get people in there. Now, when I first started, I would just randomly add everyone in there. That's what I did, and it worked. But the Facebook settings changed. So guess what? I had to change my game plan. They're going to change again. But you know what? This is really a better way, because then you're kind of, it sparks some conversation, and I get ignored a lot. I get ignored all the time. I get told no way more times than I get told yes. And I remember when I first started, I was like hurt by that, like, oh my gosh, the person just told me no, and you're like that fear of rejection. But after a while, you just kind of know that kind of comes with it, and you're going to change way more lives anyway. So the no's are totally worth it. And you have to go through those in order to get to the yeses.
That's what I always say. I'll take 99 eye rolls to help that one person.
Exactly.
It don't even matter anymore. And I used to be the same way. I would be like, oh my God. It's that fear of rejection. You don't want to be that person again, and you just got to get to the point where you realize they don't pay my bills. They're not in charge of my future. They are not going to put money away into a retirement fund for my husband. They are not going to pay for my vacations that we go on. They are not going to pay for a college fund for my grandchildren. So I don't care.
Exactly.
I am one person that I can help, and it's fantastic. Yes. So does anybody have any questions for her while we're on here for just a minute before we wrap up? It's funny because I like, it doesn't matter who you talk to or who you bring on, you still follow the same steps. I mean, everybody follows the same steps in order to, and I tell my team this all the time. I'm an executive, Jenny's an executive, Monica's on here, she's a gold executive. It's the same thing we did when we were a manager. It's just an executive or hire is just a manager that never quit. You just kept going, and you just kept doing the same things over and over and over and over and over every day. And I'm like you. I work 7 days a week. On vacations, I find time to work. So, it's just you just do it. You just do it. So, does anybody have any questions for her? Ask now. Hello, anybody? All right. Well, Jenny, I'm so, so thankful that you took your time and tonight to come on and talk to my team and encourage them and motivate them and, you know, pump them up. It always helps to hear from somebody else. And I'm very, very thankful that you did that for us tonight.
Absolutely. And I hope to see some of you guys in 3 weeks in Dallas. I would love to meet some of you guys in person. So,
Well, I will find you and introduce you to everybody. And I'm hoping that
absolutely.
those of you who are on the fence about going to Dallas, I hope that hearing what she said will change your mind, and that will show you, will tell you that you get so much every time you're there. And you know, people pour into you, and you see the big picture, and it's definitely worth the investment that you spend to get there. And it's definitely worth, you know, to me, I have not missed one event since that very first one I've gone to. Everything that they have, I am there because I don't have an overhead. The only thing I have for my business is these events. That's where I get poured into. That's where I get my training. That's where I find out what the next big thing is. And if I'm going to lead my team, I need to know those things. They're not doing it live this time. So if you're not there, you don't know, you know?
Yeah.
You don't know. So how are you going to bring it back home to your team if you're not there to bring it back home? You know, grab your team and let's go. Let's do this thing. And I know I got two ladies on here on my front line that they're this close, and I'm hoping that this just pushed them over the edge because I'm ready. I think it will be good, and I can't wait to bring them and introduce you to these ladies and Charles that I love so much. So, but thank you. And if no one has anything, that's all we got. I love y'all so much, and praying for you, and stay dry if you're in Georgia because it's about to get ugly. The thunder is rolling, and wherever you're at, you guys are amazing. You got 2 weeks. Put everything you got into it. Don't leave anything on the table. When at the last day of the month, go to bed knowing that you did everything you could and that you didn't leave anything out. And I am here for you, and I know that your coach, if I'm not your coach is here for you too. So let's go do this thing. I love y'all. Bye.
Y'all, thanks.
Thanks, Melissa.
Bye.